The day you count on for terror is not over. Friday the 13th, Part 2.
It's Friday the 13th. You know what that means. Jason's back to cause chaos at Camp Crystal Lake. Or I guess I should say that he's here for the first time because this is 1981's Friday the 13th, Part 2. After the success of the original 1980 film, a sequel was quickly put into development and was released almost exactly a year later. And you know they're not messing around because the logo fucking explodes. Serving as a direct continuation, we see that Alice is back from Part 1, recovering from her experience at Camp Crystal Lake, haunted by the memories of seeing all her friends killed. This will become a major plot point moving forward, which will open a lot of possibilities to explore her character development over the course of, oh no, she's dead now. We then see the old man from the first movie again, back to warn a new group of teens not to go near the old camp. He gets to be a more central character this time around and plays a major, oh no, he's gone too. With no ties to the original film remaining, a new group of teens get themselves settled at a campground that just so happens to be a little too close to the cursed Camp Crystal Lake. And really, there's nothing else to say, you know exactly what happens from here. Jason eventually shows up, and then the number of campers begins to decrease. If I'm being terribly honest, and I know some die-hard fans of the series may hate me for this, but as the film progresses, it becomes increasingly apparent that Friday the 13th Part 2 kinda sucks. From the incredibly long time we spend recapping the first film's ending, like come on, we get it already, to the poor acting and lack of interesting characters, it's clear that this is not the best Friday the 13th has to offer. The series wouldn't truly reach its final form until Part 3, but Part 2 does get credit for introducing aspects that would become ingrained in Friday the 13th lore. The most important of these, next to Jason himself, would be the presence of Mrs. Voorhees' decapitated head, and Jason's attachment to his mother being something the characters can exploit.
You've done your job well, and Mommy is pleased. That's a good boy. Now come to Mommy.
Part 2 would also feature smaller, goofy moments that remain in the minds of hardcore fans, like when this girl gets shot in the ass by a guy with a unibrow.
Ow.
It's a strange mix of delightfully goofy and uncomfortable at the same time, and the scene is very quiet and goes on just long enough to become awkward. This weirdness has allowed it to become one of the more memorable moments of the series. Something that stood out to me that I would really like to draw attention to is how this movie looks. Part 2 is surprisingly very colorful with vibrant colors. The red car and green trees really pop, and I wouldn't be surprised if this guy's incredibly yellow shirt has its own dedicated fan base. Wow, that's yellow.
Welcome to God's country.
So let's talk about the main attractions, Jason and the kills. Well, we all know that Jason doesn't get his iconic hockey mask until the next movie, instead opting for a sack this time around. But he's clearly got some other growing to do because this Jason sucks. For starters, he is incredibly slow, like even by slasher villain standards. Oh, better watch out, Jason's coming. He's on his way, any second now. Come on, move out of the way, you can't get away from Jason? Oh, guess not. There's also this bit where he gets the jump on Ginny here, but the chair he's standing on breaks so he just eats shit. So lame. He even cowers when confronted with a chainsaw. Look how scared he gets. What a bitch. The kills are not much better, and it doesn't help that this movie is a victim of extreme censorship. It's no secret that most of the franchise has constantly done battle with the MPAA over its gore, which has led to many shots being cut short or removed, which is really jarring and ruins it. As a result, there's a lot of lost footage across the entire series. Luckily, much of the lost footage has been found, but unfortunately from what I could find, it doesn't seem like the uncensored film has ever had an official release. So for now, we're stuck with this. Although, if I'm being honest, even with the uncut footage, none of the kills are really that great in the first place. They're certainly better, but still kind of suck. It doesn't help that the trailer gives away every death in the movie.
God. 16. 17.
Speaking of, the trailer promises a massive body count of 23 kills. There's not even 23 characters in the movie. What a screw to 80s audiences. The wheelchair guy gets it the worst though. Chopped in the face and tossed down a flight of stairs? Why'd you have to do him like that? Guess you could say he's not getting back up after that one. Jason's strongest moment is just like the first movie, where he closes the film with an iconic jump scare. Without warning, he bursts through the window. We see his uncovered face for the first time, revealing that he kind of looks like Quentin reviews. If you're not prepared, this moment is incredibly effective as there is no indication he's coming. Being the second movie, this is Friday the 13th's first attempt at being a franchise, and the series is still finding its footing. While it has a significantly larger budget, it still lacks the polish and sometimes over-the-top nature of other installments, which makes Part 2 feel a little lukewarm. Obviously, I don't look to my 80s slasher movies for peak cinema, but there are better options out there. Future entries would go on to be a lot more fun, and the original is known as a classic for a reason. There's also a seemingly countless number of other slashers in this decade to pick from, but more on them another time. But if you're interested in seeing Jason's humble beginnings, don't let me stop you from checking this out.
Sandra.